Hi, my name is Ee Lay Swee. I come from a family who's been in the printing business for the last 70 years. So by default, I'm actually a third generation printer. When I finished university and I came back and joined the corporate world, I wanted to kind of understand my roots, and I realized that the printing business was actually founded and started by my grandfather in Malaya in 1938. And he actually originated from China, Fujian in particular. He had traveled with his great-grandfather, who came with another friend, and they actually landed in Klang. And my grandfather found the opportunity to start up a printing outfit here in Malacca on Jonker Street, and it was called the Royal Press. So I took some time to come back and spend some time here to find out a little bit more about what the Royal Press was all about. And I realized that the press is really quite a unique place and it's nothing quite like it anymore. So I started on this journey on wanting to preserve the press and write stories and capture moments so that I too could remember a bit more about my family and where we all started from. So Royal Press still exists for its reason, as a printing company offering service. I realized that if this business was to survive, it needs to restructure or rejuvenate itself by offering 3 new volumes. The first as a living museum, as a tour, to give a person an experience of how an old printing press used to run in the 1930s, to get away from providing service, because when you do a printing service, you need to customize your jobs. But I think with the brand elements that we have, we can actually release a series of products. So I started up a research team where we would start researching the surroundings of Malacca community, the Peranakan structures, the tiles, the walls, the arches, and we will design elements that will then relate to the heritage or Straits-born culture. So we're looking at calendars, notebooks. I think these things are things that people might end up buying. So I'm pairing the possibility of having the tour and the products together. Ultimately, to sustain the skill set is to offer workshops and services. From this, I've actually partnered with some international museums in Germany, which is the Gutenberg Museum, who has shared a great element for me to pursue while I was there. He had mentioned that we could potentially become the first polyglot printing museum in the world. And polyglot, by definition here, means multicultural or multiracial. So that sparked an idea that, okay, we need to really get this polyglot thing going, and we went forward with it. And then I realized that while we're preserving the polyglot of the multicultural society, we are also preserving part of social history that happened in the last 70 or 80 years of Malacca. One of the biggest challenges was always making sense with the family. Funding was another key issue. With the family, there is a big age difference. They would like to see something that would not die, whereas I want to see something go bigger and above and beyond that. But to do so, you need funding, and obviously they were very reluctant with that because they don't see the potential. So when I went out to kind of knock on doors to make it work, when we got the funding for the documentary, that was our first big break. Then we took out some money and we went to Germany, we went deep into it, and we came back and we made a documentary that was quite worthy, and then it spread out. And at this moment, there's been a lot of offers of people wanting to help, either by skills, time or talent, or even funding. The family has also finally agreed to come and put together some money. Things are starting to happen, and I'm just hoping for only one thing, that it actually materializes. You can't follow a very strict timeline here. It's not the corporate world. It's something that is relationship building in that sense. And if you ask me for an advice to any single contemporary who's embarking on such a project, go back to the heart of it. And there are always going to be a lot of voices. There are a lot of people who are going to say something, advise you on certain things, but I think just take it all in and then decide for yourself. And the Royal Press was actually, well, it was founded by my grandfather. My grandmother played a very important essence to it. And there was this little story I always remember that really got me interested in preserving the Royal Press, and I thought I'll share it with you right now. While she was running the printing company, she grew up being very thrifty, and she realized a couple of things in life that doesn't change, which is hard work and perseverance. And every morning before she goes to the printing shop, she will go to the garden area, and there's a bougainvillea plant, and she'll pick out these bougainvillea petals and she'll put it in a bag, and she'll collect it in a big bag, and she goes to the market and she sells it for 1 ringgit. And the driver will ask her, why do you even do this? Because you already got more than enough. Why do you want to do this? She waited for a whole year to finish, and the money that she collected, she took the money and she bought a stock. And from the stock, she kept the money and she bought a piece of land. And she told the driver then, this is a gift from God. All you have to do is go in and work hard and preserve it and keep it. When I realized that our family has established our printing businesses, I realized that this was the root and where we came from, and I wanted to look into the Royal Press with a lot more heart, and that's where it all started.